Hello and welcome to our section 8.1 lecture today for Algebra 1 Part 2. Today we're starting our week with inequalities, looking at some different types, different types of inequalities that we'll see. The first one we have as we break down the symbols is sort of just the arrow pointing left. It means less than. And in words, what we're looking for is the thing on the left is to the left of the thing on the right. So if we say A is less than B, A is left of B. And I'm talking about on a number line. Okay, A is to the left of B. And so an example, we might have -5 is less than 10, right? Because -5 is on the left of 10 on a number line. The arrow pointing to the right means greater than. And if I have A greater than B, that means A is right of B on a number line. And using the same numbers, I might say that 10 is greater than -5. Now, there's always confusion when it goes to, we've all had the classes where we said, oh, it's this symbol or it's this symbol, and we're trying to say it very, very kind of as good as we can at the time. But really what it comes down to is how would you read it, right? Think of one that's true. And granted, most of these are going to have variables involved, but -5 is less than 10, and 10 is greater than -5. So if you think about how you read it from left to right, that's going to help you figure out which symbol's which. When we have a line under it, this is going to mean less than or equal to. And so if I have A is less than or equal to B, it's left. So we're saying that A is left of B, left or equal to B. Okay, so a couple examples here. We can say that -5 is less than or equal to 10, but we typically don't stick with that. When we have numbers, we can be very certain that -5 is less than 10. So typically we'd be looking at variables. We'd say x is less than or equal to -5, and that means that x can be anything up to and including on the left side of -5, and it could be -5 also. The last one is greater than or equal to. And you kind of get the idea here. If A is greater than or equal to B, A is B or bigger or further to the right on a number line. So a better example here would be x is greater than or equal to 10, would show us either x is 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 or so on. Okay, so how we display the solution of an inequality is we're going to look for anything that everything comes down to a number line. Let me start with that. So if I put a number line out here, all my answers need to go on a number line, because it's impossible to say that x equals 6. Or let me use our last one here, x being greater than or equal to 10. I'll show that one. X being greater than or equal to 10, I can't just say, well, x is 11. Well, that works, but it's not the only possibility. So the way we do that is we would want a number line, and I want to at least know where 0 is. And then I'm worried about where 10 is. That's kind of my operating number here. The way that I like to show it is from there, it deals with a circle on 10. Since it can be 10, we're going to fill that in because 10 works. And then everything to the right of 10 also works. Okay, so we're going to shade that line and shade in that arrow to the right of 10. Okay. If I'm looking for my other one, let's say I'm using, I'll put that one over here and we'll just kind of save that over here. I'm going to move my 0 a little closer so I can get another example on here as well. If I wanted to say x is less than -5, let's say we've got -5 here. It can't equal -5, but it can be anything up to -5, right? So all these negative numbers are smaller than -5. And it's not enough to just say, well, then 4 works. Sorry, -4 works. Well, so does -4.5 or -4 3/4, right? Everything up until -4.9999 works, right? Even that one works. So it's not enough to just think about whole numbers. We got to think about decimals too. So then the other thing that we'd like to do is to be able to take a verbal expression and put it into an inequality. Okay, and this first one says that Gaul has less than $10 in his wallet. Yeah, that's true. So if we think about W being money in the wallet, then I know that I'm going to have less than $10 in there. So my wallet is going to hold less than $10. You can debate for yourself whether there could be negative money in my wallet, but I'm not going to go there. The next one says the NBHS JV football team will win at least 8 games this year. Let's go and use W again for wins. Okay. At least 8 games means that we could win 8 games or anything more. So to include the could win 8 games, that's going to be the line under it. And then we could also win more than 8 games. Peak will have no less than 35 students. Peak's our old alternative school out here at the high school, which when I wrote this the first time, that's what it was called. It's called Bridges now. We'll have no less than 35 students. So let's let S equal students. And no less than. That means they can have 35 or more than 35. So it's an or equal to with a greater than. Okay, greater than or equal to 35 students. Next one, saying something about teachers. Let's let T be the teachers. Due to budgetary reasons, NBHS will have no more than 40 teachers. Maybe that'll change someday. Maybe it's different now. I have no idea, actually. So no more than 40 teachers means that the number of teachers has to stay under 40, but it can be 40. So we'd use less than, but we'd actually use less than or equal to include the 40. Okay. So a couple different topics there. Hopefully we made heads and tails of that. If you didn't, put any questions over on the left and make sure you put them in the assignment of this video. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day and we will see you in class.